Now for the moment of truth. Let's open it up. I'll see. Ooh. Oh my. Ooh. My goodness. Oh my goodness. This is fantastic. Unbelievable beauty. I'm going to get some better shots with the camera of this. Do this justice. Okay, this is really, really inspiring. I'm gonna go and see how it sounds plugged in. All right. All right, so here we are. Although it's a couple of months later, I'll get to that shortly. Just want to tell the short story of how this got started. Since about 20 years ago, I've had this vision of extended range, a 5-string bass with a high C string, with no electronics, only, I mean, not no electronics, but no visible electronics on the face of the instrument. I didn't want a jack input or output on the front. I want it on the side. I didn't want any knobs to control volume or bass treble, the normal bass guitar controls. I wanted all of those to be concealed inside the instrument, and that would force me to play differently if I wanted a different sound on stage. And so I wanted it to bridge kind of the gap between an acoustic instrument and an electric instrument, in that you have to think more about your technique and your approach to how you play with regards to the sound you're going for, than to rely on altering the treble or bass response of the instrument, changing different pickup positions, etc. I have small hands with short fingers, so I wanted to go for 32 or 33 inch scale. And I wanted 28 frets, because then I have the low E and I have the high E. So I have 4 octaves and an extended cutaway to be able to get up all the way up to this note. I sent a request to a few different builders. I got some suggestions online from various Facebook groups. I settled on Matthias from Tangente Instruments in Argentina. He gave me a really good feeling in our dialogue via email at the very start, and he was very interested. He seemed very open-minded. He was very enthusiastic about my vision, which is a huge plus when you're like kind of searching for how to do stuff, and then you find a builder that you really feel you connect with, that works with you in a positive way. We juggled some ideas back and forth regarding material, building techniques, etc. And he sent me some drawings at first, and then after a while, when we narrowed down our wood choices and some more of the shapes, he sent me a 3D render. I'll put some of the pictures up here. Once the building process started, I got continuous updates of photos of the woods, photos of what we was doing. I mean, from a block of wood to this instrument, it's quite fascinating journey to take part in. And then finally, we're here. Here is the bass. As with everything that's a prototype, we have to say this is a prototype. Matthias hasn't built a bass like this before. I have never received a bass like this before. This has been my dream for a long time. The thing about prototypes is that you don't really know how things are going to work out, right? So as I plugged it in, there was a hum, unfortunately, from the electronics. The instrument is 100% perfect. It's marvelous. The building quality, the craftsmanship, the woods, everything is beautiful. It was the internal preamp that had some issues. Matthias is very personally involved. He's a passionate professional, and he got out of his way to make this right. So he was obviously really, really upset. He was very, very sorry, but this was totally out of his control. Everything was fine. He sent me some video clips of him playing the bass, and a friend of his, great musician, put his name up here because as I'm speaking now, the name escapes me, but it's on the screen. A fantastic musician. He sent me a clip of him playing the bass here. And everything sounds awesome. So something has happened during the transport with the internal preamp. So Matthias ordered a new one from a different company, and he sent it to me, and then I went with a local luthier here in Norway, and we switched the preamps out. Still, there was a little bit of hum, and we learned along the way that this has piezo pickups and wiring and grounding and stuff is not as simple as often is the case with magnetic pickups. But we figured it out, we narrowed down some problems, and we managed to make it quiet. So that's awesome. So now everything is working as it should do. Let me play a little bit for you. Let me just reach over and plug this in, and I'll play a few notes. It's very, very even. It feels, it's like playing an acoustic instrument to my ears. With some reverb and delay, it's just gorgeous. Yeah, I think that's quite a beautiful sound. Yeah. So anyway, with everything that's new, it takes some getting used to. This is different. The scale is shorter, so it needs a bit adjusting, and I haven't been on a 5-string with a high C for a while, so that took a couple of weeks to get back. The picking technique is obviously also different, since there is no pickups here to anchor the thumb, but that's fine. That's just something to get used to. And I think the various kind of sounds it can produce from this basic sound, if I pluck it differently, kind of nuances come through in a very different way to my ears than on any of my other instruments. It's just a complete different aesthetic and a different way of feeling the tone, basically. It's where I pluck with the finger. Close to the nail, or more on this area. Makes a bigger difference than on my jazz basses, for instance. But I've had this instrument now for just a few weeks, so this is an ongoing process, and we're gonna get to know each other really, really well. The other day I brought the instrument to my first gig with Tarjei Grimsby Quintet. The band consists of Tarjei on trombone, Martin Gjerde on piano, Jens Thoresen on guitar, Eric Smith on drums, and myself on bass. So here is an excerpt from a tune by Frode Tingnes, the head and the bass solo. Check it out. Please like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next video.